everybody. Hugh Kellenberger here. Dustin Dopirak on my right, coming to you from the
press room
at the Breslin Center, which is, pretty much. It's
a press room.
It's a press room. There's drapes.
Yeah.
It's basically just a room in the building.
It is.
Not even really a room, just kind of part of the building that they have said press room right there. It happens.
It does.
Anyways, Dustin, another 40 minutes of really good basketball.
45.
45. Sorry, 45. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm actually forgetting overtime.
It is. There was that thing. Yeah. No, it was probably...
Overtime was bad for both teams, but a really
was.
good regulation game and an entertaining basketball game.
Yeah, no question about it. It was probably the most just interesting, fun to watch if you had no dog in this fight whatsoever. It was just a fun game to watch and be around. Indiana just played extremely well, really, especially offensively. Really got everybody involved, even on another night when they didn't have Verdell. Just moved the ball spectacularly well. Just got huge shots from so many different guys. Matt Roth had some huge ones. Jordan Halls really looks like, is really starting to take over this team a little bit.
Yeah.
And Vic Oladipo made a couple that were just sensational plays. So many guys had made huge plays today, and just came down to it that really Michigan State just made one more or less. They had real vets that they could just go to even on nights where they weren't necessarily playing great. Just get the ball down to Draymond Green in the low block, and he makes a play.
They lose that game if they don't have Draymond Green on their team.
Oh, absolutely.
Draymond was just absolutely. He played at all Big Ten
19 points,
level.
13 boards, 5 assists.
Yeah,
he was outstanding.
Right. He was the one guy on that team for all 45 minutes, played like he wanted to win.
Sure. Kalen Lucas had some moments and some other. Tom Izzo said he's as explosive as he's been since the Achilles tendon tear last year in the tournament, and he really did look good tonight. There were some moments where he was
he had some good plays,
but there were a couple.
In terms of what that Michigan State team needs, somebody that's going to say no. This is what's happening right now. Draymond's that guy.
Yeah, and he's as good as anybody in the league at that.
Right.
There were just moments where you see, I guess you saw stuff from Green that you see what Indiana wants one day when Green talks about leadership and those sorts of things. You saw Green during huddles just kind of literally grabbing everybody by the shirt, not necessarily yelling at him or everything like that. Okay, look, you've got to do this, you got to do that, and he even did it with Lucas.
Right. Yeah, that team.
Even the guys that are older
the alpha
than him,
male.
Yes. Yeah. Even with a guy who's been Player of the Year in that league, Green still grabbed him by the chest and said, "All right, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna make this play." Right. And he just huge play after huge play. It came down to just a hook shot that he got to go with, I think, 29 seconds left. IU gets the ball back, really couldn't run into anything. Also literally runs right into Derek Nix, which turns into a scramble on the floor. They get 1.2 seconds to go, and Holtz had to try just more or less an unmakeable shot.
He had 1.2 seconds left.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, Lamont Pope, the Fort Wayne Journal-Gazette, and I were sitting next to each other on press row, and during the timeout, we were like, they can't give it the problem with 1.2 seconds left and giving the ball to Jordan is that any situation in which Jordan gets the ball with enough room to get a good look at the basket, he's really far away.
Yeah. It's a deep three you got to make. And Keith Appling defended that about as well as
Keith Appling's a really good think for a freshman.
He's excellent.
He was all over Jordan. Jordan made a lot of great plays. I think it was in overtime. He drove past Appling and Draymond Green and got a layup where you were just like, Jordan Hulse is not supposed to have that quickness, there was Jordan Hulse with that quickness.
Yeah, no, he had it tonight. There were more than a few plays that were like, I didn't think he could make that. And
he did.
Not that.
So the final shot was, he got the best look he could. He came off 2 screens along the baseline, tried to curl around, get the ball, shoot. Appling was right there when he got it. We can talk about screening or whatever else. Screening's been a consistent issue for Indiana.
Yeah.
That's not going to change. That's kind of an off-season thing.
Yeah, but I thought it was better tonight.
I thought it was better tonight.
Better.
Right.
Yeah.
So Jordan kind of gets a look. He gets a shot up, but he doesn't really get a good look on. Doesn't get a good read. It goes long, which is unusual for Jordan. For something to go long.
Sure.
So we can talk about that. I think there's a lot of people online talking about officiating. There's a lot of people talking about Jeremiah Rivers missing the free throws.
Yeah.
That's not fair.
That's tough for Rivers.
Jeremiah has made more than 80% of his shots this year.
That's what's really kind of amazing is just how you don't really almost look at that number until he blows one and you realize, wow, this was a kid who was just atrocious as a free throw shooter a year ago.
Absolutely.
He came in tonight 22 for 25, 88%.
Yeah.
I mean, he had absolutely remade himself as a free throw shooter. Does make you wonder what he was doing all that time before that, but in the same aspect, I mean, he absolutely noticed that was a problem. Even toward the end of last year, I think he got a lot better. I mean, his numbers really improved, I think, from conference season on, especially late in the year. He got a lot better, and then this year he's been lights out, after being literally atrocious. And then, he lets two go that just don't, that you just don't hit. I mean, Jeremiah was even saying, man, I felt really confident. I let both of those go. They felt great. Really thought they were going to go, and they just didn't. And, I mean, that happens.
And the rims were a little weird tonight.
They are. I don't know if they're loose. I mean,
they were a little something. I kind of noticed that early on too. That may have played a role, but I think it's unfair to really blame Jeremiah.
Well, it's the same as anything else. Can you ever blame a game on two missed free throws?
No, no. There were a ton of plays that happened in that game. Tom Pritchard had made his free throws earlier in the game. There's not even that situation.
Yeah.
If a bunch
Pritchard's
of different,
a bad free throw shooter.
Pritchard's
a bad free
that's
throw
what I'm
shooter.
saying. Like if Tom Pritchard isn't 3 of 15 for the season,
but it's one of those situations where you're probably asking yourself, okay, well, what does Tom still have him in for? But no, he was shooting 88%. Can you take an 88% free throw shooter off the off the floor at that point?
No, and who were you going to put? Who were you going to put on the floor? 1, 2 freshmen?
Exactly. I mean, he was.
I'll take the senior shooting 88%.
Oladipo
is a
right now is not.
That is a weakness in his game.
Yes.
So yes, absolutely, Jeremiah Rivers needed to be on the floor in that situation, and him getting fouled and going to the line was
not a bad thing. It probably would have. You do wonder if it would have been better if Holst didn't just dribble around and just wait for somebody to foul him.
I was surprised Michigan State. I was surprised Michigan State waited as long as it did to foul, and I think Jordan was a little surprised.
Yeah,
and so I think at a certain point, Jordan almost was like, "Okay,
I guess I got to run the offense.
Let's run a play."
Yeah, and that's kind of what it came down to. Right. Again, not that you don't want an 88% free throw shooter, but you want Jordan Holst. If you have
Jordan's
your druthers, you want Jordan on the line at that point.
Let's kind of talk about big picture for a little minute. In 4 days, Indiana defeated number 20 Illinois and took number 25 Michigan State team to overtime.
On the road.
Where
they haven't won since 91. I didn't realize that. They haven't won here since 1991.
And this Indiana team has really, really struggled on the road. The road's been a losing proposition for them for 2 seasons.
Yeah.
So what does this say about the Hoosiers in the big picture?
The mentality of this team has changed a lot in a week.
Yeah.
A lot. I mean, it's amazing. Literally last Sunday, we were, watching Iowa and thinking, man, what's wrong with this team? What are they going to do? How do they survive without Verdell? All those sorts of things. And in the span of a week, this is just a totally different looking team. And we've said that before. I mean, there were times last year where we were thinking, okay, well, this team's about to turn the corner. It's there, and then it went backwards. But it's, you can definitely see a lot of confidence, a situation where they've kind of had a lot of things not go their way, but yet they've been able to survive it, and they've kind of really noticed, okay, these are the sort of things we have to do to be in a ball game. Now, obviously, part of what happened tonight is they started shooting really, really well early, and some guys hit shots that don't usually. I don't want to say that don't usually hit.
They have been shooting well. They shot well against Iowa, though. They shot well against Illinois. The difference.
They didn't shoot well against Iowa. They had.
Yeah, they did. They were like 50%.
They didn't have 50% against Iowa. I promise you. Okay. Maybe had some late garbage time.
Maybe I'm thinking Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin, they shot it well. Iowa, they had.
The difference, I think, has been on the defensive end.
Oh, sure. No, it's gone a lot better defensively, but as Karina's kind of said, even though you want defense to be what you focus on, when kids make shots, they get more confident, and that permeates.
Yeah.
And that's what happened tonight.
It leaks back onto the other end, and when you're missing shots, it leaks back onto the other end. I think this team got pushed against the wall. They lost Maurice Creek, and then they lost Verdell Jones. Yeah. And Iowa, I think, was them going, what is happening, and oh my God, and all those things. And they got trashed for a few days. Yeah. They were told everything that was humanly wrong with them by everybody around the program, and everybody was saying how bad this team was, and they got pushed against the wall, and they responded. Yeah. And I think that's a promising sign. This is a young team. The cavalry begins coming next year. The best thing about what this team can do at this point, is to establish a baseline winning mentality that the freshmen then become a part of, rather than trying to make it themselves. Yeah,
and I think you kind of wondered this entire time, what form would that actually take? I mean, who were the guys that were, who were you going to see make a change, making this sort of evolution within that? And you've seen Jordan Hulls make it, absolutely. You've seen Watford make it to some degree. You've certainly seen
I think Christian has played really well
the last 2 games. He was a beast today. He was tough. I mean, there were some occasions where, obviously Draymond Green beat him up, but he's not winning that matchup, period. It's just not it's just not something he has. But he still, especially early, really, pulled down and took the ball to the hoop, hit some huge shots. It seems like he's toughened up a lot in a couple of games. And, and Hulls absolutely looks like a leader right now. I mean, Hulls really looks like he's
Hulls looks like the kid that won Mr. Basketball.
Yeah. I didn't even see it, but based on whatever I've heard, that's what it sounds like.
Hulls looks like the kid that won Mr. Basketball. The kid that you don't realize he's making you win the game, but yet there he is, and he's making you win the game.
Yeah, exactly.
That's Jordan Hulls. You don't realize it until it's over.
That he was just
he was just dominating.
Absolutely.
All right, everybody. As always, thanks for watching. Check out the Scoop the next few days as we get ready for Wednesday.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks.